And it looks like they've done it for now. Decision Desk HQ announced about an hour ago. And again, just take this for what it is. Decision Desk HQ projects that Joe Biden has won Pennsylvania and its 20 electoral college votes for a total of 273. Now, this cracks me up because this is being announced on Twitter, the platform that says that they weren't going to allow any premature announcements. Joe Biden has been elected the 46th president of the United States of America. America. Race called 11:06, 8:50 a.m. Eastern Time. Well, it's possible. I'm not saying it's impossible, but I think we're gonna see. I think there's gonna be some hemming and hawing, some lawsuits, and we'll see, I guess. But that's not going to stop my life at all. Because I'm still here. I will be just fine like I have whenever someone else I didn't care for was elected president. But we're going to see. We got to see first. I'm not calling it anything. I think Decision HQ may have jumped the gun. But he's also leading in the other 4 states they're counting. That doesn't mean anything either. Oh, by the way, I do have a story. There's some military ballots that haven't been counted yet. They're saying they counted all the votes so far, but I know in Georgia they haven't counted any of the military ballots. North Carolina also. Anyway, we'll get into that. How about we play the intro? Ladies and gentlemen, coming to you live from the Lucky Dog studio in a hidden location somewhere in the upper Midwest of the United States of America, it's a brother making his own way, but with all the wrong opinions. Welcome to the Morning Night Live with your host, yours truly, PDawg Knight. And stop the music. Yes, C. Thomas, I've already seen you, so too late. Good morning, everybody, and welcome to the Morning Night Live with your host, me, Marty, also known as PDawg Knight on the internet, and welcome back to the PDawg Knight Channel. It is Friday, the 6th of November, 2020, and apparently someone thinks we have a new president. It's possible. It's not official, but Decision Desk HQ has decided to call it, and there's still a lot to go, though. I think it's still going to be a bit of a slog as they do some investigating and vetting and whatnot. But I gotta say, I never hit the enter button. Here, see, Thomas, there you go. I'm gonna say that perhaps I am mentally prepared for a Biden presidency. I just kind of hope that this runoff in Georgia doesn't cause problems for, because we definitely don't need a blank check government I couldn't even say it. I was going to say it. I'm not saying it yet until it's official. Because right now, in the immortal words of, I don't even know the fuck his name now. Because my mind's going like this. Donald Trump is still your president. For now. So anyway, let's say good morning to everybody, and then we'll get into some of the news. By the way, they're still counting votes in Arizona.
I see dead people.
And in Georgia.
I see dead people.
And so anyway, let's say good morning to everybody. Good morning, James PFP, who is first in the chat and gets the bell. Good morning, sir. Good morning also to Grill and Pirate Pete, who's got, Pete's got some stuff on the grill already this morning. On the grill, a grilled version of chicken cordon bleu using only thin sliced pork instead of ham. Oh my goodness. Sounds good. Also, good morning, Adam Richard. Donatello Slapfellow, my favorite name on the internet. Kevin S., how you doing? Nice to see you. Select a boy. Yeah, boy. Also, Uncle Bad Touch, who we know is really, let's see, what's a good way to put this? Because I can't, let's say projected President-elect Joe Biden. That's Uncle Bad Touch. It's just Joe hiding behind an internet name. Also, good morning, Maddie, my news friend. Good morning. Let's see. Tyler F. What's up? Renee Mayette. DI Freighter Watcher. I already said Kevin S. Adam Richard, how you doing? Y'all been active in the chat. I got to scroll way down. Y'all been talking up a storm. That's good, though. Also, good morning, Duncan, the God Emperor of Duncan, that would be. Also, good morning to Avocados Diabli, the Devil's Advocate, Hard Disk Fail. Hope he got, Orange Man so bad he got 69 million votes. Clown World 2020. Well, now, yeah, I'm saying look, Donald Trump got more votes than the best year for Barack Obama. He's the second highest vote receiver in a presidential election ever. Oh, did I say Barack Obama? Also, good morning to Atheist Icon. How you doing? Kevin. Oh, I said Kevin S. I'm just chatting. Stabbing Joe Scarborough. Uncle Bad Touch. Let me say. Great screen name. Yeah, that is. It's just Joe Biden. You know who that is. Anyway, also good morning to Green Badger Outdoors. How you doing? Purple Pill Perspective. Saint Foogie's in the house. Zach Osborne, how you doing? Nathan Payton, here we go. You're right, here we go. Attack Alpaca, what's up? To Rideos, it's nice to see you here on the daily. F is it's just the name F. I wonder what that F stands for. I'm curious. But F, how you doing? Good morning, the pissed off Shih Tzu, Big Assassin 80, Robert Lapine, Aaron Meredith, C. Thomas. Yes, I saw you already. Yes, I did, because I am observant for the most part. And Heroic Nico, what's up? Cindy Rochelle, Jonas Pedersen, and all sorts of people rolling in. We got 60 in here already. Hot diggity. Well, 59. Let's get that up to 69, right? And of course, I have my cup of reparation coffee with the classic Sweet Meteor Death Cup, which who I voted for in 2016. AWOL's in the house, and itchy assholes, a sign of thy faith. Amen. Oh yes, AWOL is unwiped. That's okay. We are equal opportunity hiney cleaners. So how you or not? Anyway. So, how about we get into this? So, like I said, Decision Desk HQ has already called it, according to, and I don't, you know what? I don't even know. I always thought Decision Desk HQ used to be a spinoff of the Ace of Spades blog. And because they used to do that over there, and apparently they're their own entity now. And I don't, because Ace would never have settled for calling this right now, but they are one of the more accurate aggregators of election results. So, you know, I don't mind that, but the fact that they're calling it kind of bothers me. Good morning to Keenan. How you doing? But them calling it at this point, knowing how much dispute there is, but then again, if you listen to the media, there's no way you could have any election fraud. There's no way that you could have undue influence on an election, except for the last election, right? Or except for Stacey Abrams' election, right? You dispute You dispute the results of 2016 election. Oh, yes, you were so brave and whatever the other word is. And then you dispute Stacey Abrams' election where she lost by 50,000 votes. And oh, you're so brave to dispute this election. And now, but Donald Trump disputes an election and you're a crazy fucking whatever you are, whatever. Anyway, Gunfox61, how you doing? Who says this election's so full of fraud that it's not even funny. I'm not, I tell you, I can't, it's amazing because, let's put it this way. So the AP, is it the AP that did this? The AP, let me find the AP here. Associated Press. Oh, I might have bookmarked this because I laughed when I saw this. Here, let's go back into main here. Let me find it. Hopefully I booked. Yeah, here it is. Okay, listen to this. This is the AP from the AP Morning Wire. And I'm just laughing my ass off. Here's their little bullet points for the AP Morning Wire. 1, Biden reassures, sees victory. Trump baselessly attacks vote integrity. Election exposes America's divides. Okay. Drama with virus in war-scarred Bosnia, whatever. And then Facebook bans Stop the Steal group from sowing violence. Now, that might be whoever came up with this sowing violence nonsense. That might be the most bullshit thing I've seen this morning. But they banned this group called Stop the Steal. They're just going to go out and protest, right? These are protesters who have not caused a lick of violence, right? But they banned the Stop the Steal group for sowing violence. Interesting. Have they, now, some people may have a different opinion about this, but have they banned any BLM groups? Have they banned any Antifa groups? Not to my knowledge. They might have banned some Antifa groups. I don't know for sure. But although BLM, it's not their intention to sow violence, do they sow violence? Absolutely. But they ban a group protesting possible voter integrity issues. They ban them for just peacefully, and I mean peacefully protest. There has not a single incident of any of these people causing any violence. What the hell are you talking about here? I just go, what the F are you talking about? Oh, good God. Stop the band hammer. Yeah, and the social media, Twitter, unbelievable. The disclaimers and all the shit they're putting on Trump's tweets and anybody's tweets who questions anything about this election. I just go, what are you talking about? Holy shit. Oh, I do have one warning though, and this is Vinnie James put this up this morning too, and I think this is important to do. There is a video going around right here of circulating people who appear to be filling in ballots, and he posted one of them. Actually, they're doing remake ballots. That is actually a legit legal process that they are doing there. So if you see anyone sharing this video where it looks like this woman's just counting out ballots, no. The reason they're sitting across from each other, one person is, they're reading out ballots so they can run them through a voting machine. So for example, in those cases where people got Sharpies, for example, by the way, the Sharpie issue I think has been resolved in Arizona. Those ballots are valid and are being counted. That's part of the issue. So, but yeah, don't share this video out. I don't even, see, this is the video. It looks like if you see this video, let people know that that is not a case of voter fraud. Someone says to answer this, it's a stupid process. If someone didn't fill their ballot out correctly, that should be caught prior to voting, not after it. It can be done for in person and mail-in votes easily. How does a country like ours not have the best process for such an important thing in our elections? Because some people who vote are stupid. And of course, in some cases,
I see dead people.
dead people can't fill out the ballots properly anyway. I'm sorry. Anyway. That's my favorite new sound effect, because whenever you go to these vote counting centers,
I see dead people.
you just never know who's going to be there. Anyway, okay, what else do I got here? Let's go through some of my bookmarks first, since I have this open. Breaking, and this is the ABC News announcement. Breaking, Biden has pulled ahead in Pennsylvania, overtaking Trump's lead. Oh, and Trumpers crying everywhere. I love it. Oh, fuck off. You motherfuckers. Yeah, I'm sorry. Who's this? Remember the screaming lady when Trump was inaugurated? You go gloat somewhere else, you dumb motherfuckers. Hey, like I said, for me, I'm not happy about it. If it actually ends up being that way, I'm not happy at all about it. But my life will go on, you know? Again, in theory, the president of the United States really doesn't have that much effect on my life. And you know what? You just try to lock the country down. You think you saw protests in Michigan. Holy shit.
You are the new Streamlabs
what the hell was
superstar
that?
donor
That
of the
I
day.
hit a button that I shouldn't have hit. I meant to hit.
I see dead people.
Okay, anyway. Yes, AWOL, the Democrats. That was a Freudian slip. The Democrats make the dead rise. They sure do. We'll get into some examples a little bit later here in the show. And again, I mentioned already that I do have my cup of reparations coffee. We'll do this drink earlier. A toast to election fraud investigators. Grab your cup or whatever you got, a bourbon or a Mountain Dew or some milk or orange juice or your favorite vodka, and we're all take a sip together. Here we go. But I do have my cup of reparations coffee, and it is fantastic. All right, PDawg Knight. So you're saying you accept the fact that all future elections will be like this. The Democrats will tell us who they have chosen. No, I do not at all. I think this needs a thorough looking at by the courts. And remember, here's the thing. Oh, see, there is a silver lining. There is a silver lining. One, we already have a Supreme Court that for now has 9 members, and most of them just read the laws and not try to write laws in the court. Number 2, Republican state legislatures, where you are more likely to have something they do affect your life directly, they're still leading in those areas. Okay, they're still. In fact, I think there came a couple more Republican legislations. From the local standpoint, Republicans did really well. They gained many seats in the House. 9 new Republican women in the House. A few minority Republicans in the House. Which I don't care about their demographic, but I'm just making the point that Republicans have made gains. And hopefully the Senate, depending on what happens on this runoff in Georgia, will remain in Republican hands. And I don't know that there's a kind of an argument going on Twitter right now on, if Trump is, disputing these election results, how's that going to affect the runoff race in Georgia for these 2 Senate seats? And I hope, and our Georgia's going to come out in January to vote for that. Now, I would hope that the Republicans would be motivated in that. I don't know. Georgia is a Republican state up and down. I mean, granted, they were able to pull this off. I don't know if they could pull off this mail-in ballot bullshit again, though. I just don't know. I think there's going to be some soul searching from the Republican governor, Republican secretary of state, Republican legislature in Georgia regarding how this election in January is going to go. And so we'll see. So yeah, there are some silver linings, and also as far as redistricting goes in these states with the current big GOP lead in state legislatures, is that you're not going to get some, shenanigans as far as redistricting. So I think it'll be at least there is a silver lining. And again, we got to start focusing on local elections if you want conservatives, or even I'd be happy with libertarian candidates locally, and focusing on, especially for where I live, where it's dominated by the Democrats. We need to fix that. Update the Discord link. Okay, let's see. Actually do this for me. Oh, because you have to do it every day, don't you? That messes me up. Let's see if I can fix that real quick. Let's do this. Does my Discord link have to change every damn day? That drives me nuts. Invite people. We'll copy. And just a second here. Let me let's see. CloudBot. I'm assuming you mean the Discord link in CloudBot. There's probably a way to do that. Let me edit that real quick. And all right, that should do it. I'm assuming you might have to do that every day. All right, let me close Discord here, and there you go. Use the link in your DM. Oh, okay, I'll check that too. All right. Oh, I see what you're saying. I'll change it. There's a new link there now. A couple thank yous real quick. Thank you, Tyler F, RVA Dar, Sydney Rochelle, Maddie, Nick didn't retweet, but also, and Becca Fairley, all of you who have shared the show through Twitter or whatever social media. Also, if you could do me a favor, if you haven't shared the show, there's an arrow somewhere down here. Hit the arrow, and then so you can share that on whatever social media you want, or you can retweet us on Twitter, Minds, Gab, or Parler. Follow Maddie, the news chick. Follow Becca Fairley. Follow Cindy Rochelle, Renee Mayette. They all tweeted out. If you don't see mine, you'll see theirs. So that'd be fantastic. I can see why changing it makes sense. Yeah, I'd rather do the daily change, and I just didn't do that this morning on the Discord. But because basically I want the Discord to be for viewers for the most part. I will share it in the chat here, but I'm not going to share it out just willy-nilly out publicly. It's really for viewers of the show. Although I probably should use it as a promotion tool too, but I'll make some decisions on that later. All right, other news. Let's go back into the news. Let's see. So we got that. We got ABC. What's Biden, and then the New York Post also has an article about Biden taking the lead in Pennsylvania. Let's read the article. Let's see how the New York Post puts this together. Oh, good morning, Cairo Alexander. How you doing? Katie did skate. Also, Renee Mayette. And I think that's everyone that who's jumped in the chat recently. Joe Biden takes the lead in Pennsylvania on the brink of a 2020 election victory. Now notice, they're not declaring him the president yet. That's, I think Decision Desk, and I think the AP did it too, though. But other outlets are not claiming he's won. Joe Biden has taken a lead in his native Pennsylvania by 5,587 votes, where he has climbed back after trailing by more than 600,000 votes in the crucial swing state. Democratic candidates' vote percentage in Keystone State rallied more than 2 days after polls closed Tuesday evening, shooting up because of mail-in ballots that were heavily in favor of the former vice president. If Biden keeps his lead in the state, he'll secure his presidential election with election total electoral victory count of at least 273, 3 more than the magic number. If he wins Pennsylvania, he'll have successfully flipped the so-called blue wall states, Wisconsin, Michigan, and Pennsylvania, that the president carried in his upset victory over Hillary Clinton in 2016. On Thursday, the U.S. Postal Service said that about 1,700 ballots had been identified in Pennsylvania at processing facilities and were in the process of being delivered to election officials. By 6 a.m. Friday, the Trump lead in Pennsylvania stood at 18,229 votes and was steadily shrinking before Biden gained the upper hand. According to The Hill, more mailed-in ballots are still expected to be counted, many of them from the heavily Democratic city of Philadelphia and its suburbs. Sorry, I'm just chuckling. Hi, Check Your Logic. How you doing? As well as Allegheny County, where Pittsburgh is located, according to the outlet. Biden also took a narrow lead of about 1,000 votes over Trump in battleground state of Georgia early Friday, putting the White House within his reach as votes continue to be counted. He also retains leads in Nevada and Arizona, where ballot counting also continues. So that's the story, and they're sticking to it. Let's see what else I bookmarked here, and then, this story pertains to non-residents who voted there. It mentions, but it doesn't specify the issue of how many dead people have. No, okay, here's, the Republicans have sent a criminal referral to the Justice Department. Let's make that so I can see it. There we go. Oh, dude. Oh, God, Emperor of Duck. What the hell? Get off my screen, you stupid ad. God, Emperor of Duncan with the first donation of the day. You'll start hearing music here in a second. With the $1.99 with the Game Over. It's Game Over, man. Oh, I should have picked that one out. What is that from? Is that from Aliens where he does that, where he says, it's game over, man? I can't remember. But yeah, game over. Ouch, babe. Ouch, babe. Okay, well, this is how this country works is Joe becomes president. Might as well get over it and get ready for what comes next. That's my attitude. I hate it, but my life goes on. Life goes on. It really does. I hope that we can fend off what the Democrats are planning on doing or whatnot. Aliens 2, is that what it's from? Oh, Aliens. Okay, the second movie, Aliens, not Alien, but Aliens, which actually I thought was the better movie. Although the first, well, the thing is here, I guess I should have a caveat. I saw Aliens before I saw Alien. So for me, Aliens, I thought was the better movie just because, but I never saw the first Alien. So maybe, that's an issue. Yes, wife goes on. Yeah, wife goes on too. So anyway, Republicans sent a criminal referral to the Department of Justice about alleged voter fraud in Nevada. Republicans sent a criminal. Okay, and like many internet articles, the first line repeats the exact same verbiage of the title of the article. So, but it's a state President Trump needs in order to have a chance of winning a second term. Nevada Republican Party announced on Thursday that lawyers reached out to Attorney General William Barr, with vote counting still underway in the Silver State, and just after Trump held a press conference at the White House during which he accused his opponent of trying to steal the election. Yeah, I probably have to show you that one too if you haven't seen it. Our lawyers just sent out a criminal referral to AG Barr requesting that regarding at least 3,062 incidents of voter fraud. And get off my screen, you stupid ad for Rain-X. My God. I need to have I should do ad block. Anyway, 3,062 incidents of voter fraud. We expect that number to grow substantially. Thousands of individuals have been identified who appear to have violated the law by casting ballots after they moved from Nevada. So people leaving Nevada have been still voting. Hello, John Smith. I wake up today and everyone's defeatist. I'm not defeatist. My life goes on, man. Look, well, I'll get to that later. You don't just say, oh, well, this group has stolen my nation's elections, a movement which has its roots in those who murdered 100 million. You think life will go on under that a lot? PDawgKnight, it won't. Look, I'm not saying I'm not pissed off. I'm not even saying that I won't continue to talk about the fact that this is a fraudulent piece of shit. What I'm saying is, if it ends up that I can't do a damn thing about it and it turns out to be that way, I'm still going to live my damn life. Okay? And we have, in 2 years, we can flip an entire Congress if they do stupid shit. And in 2 more years after that, we have an opportunity. I don't think the country, look, like I said, the silver lining is what? We gained state legislatures from the faction that I tend to be from. Okay? So that tells me, and the fact that we gained House seats in a election where supposedly this president lost, I don't know how that works. That's a good sign. I think we can continue. So remember, and I don't, look, Joe spent most of his campaign in a basement. And he doesn't seem to be the most high energy person on the planet. Now, is Joe Biden even going to make it to Inauguration Day? That's another question thing. Is he going to make it through his first year? In any case, I think there are, I don't know. I understand exactly where y'all are coming from. D.I. Frater Roger, I see what you're saying too. I got you. I got you. But I'm just saying, I still got to live my life here and work locally and make sure that my local governments don't fuck shit up more than they already could do. There's a whole lot of things you can do to make sure that your life continues in a manner in which you want it to. I feel, and hopefully we fight the fight each time it comes up where you have an opportunity to fight the fight. That's my point. The GOP did not immediately provide evidence of potential voter fraud described in the tweet. The Washington Examiner reached out to the Nevada GOP for further comment. A DOJ official told the Washington Examiner on Thursday evening that the agency received a criminal referral and was looking into the matter. So what they have is people who voted fraudulently. There's also some anecdote. I don't know if it's anecdotal evidence or where this came from, but possibility as many as 14,000. How should I say this? Dead people.
I see dead people.
Voted in Nevada, but again, I can't guarantee that is a fact. So I'm just saying it is what I've heard, and I don't know. There's a lot of BS going on with some of these ballots and the counting and everything. So hopefully that some of this can get worked out. The complaint said the Republicans were asking for an injunction directing defendants and their officers, agents, employees, attorneys, and any other person acting under their direction or control to cease the use of Agilus system to count ballots in Clark County, as well as injunctive relief directing defendants and their officers, agents, employees, and any other person acting under the direction or control to allow meaningful access to the ballot counting process. That is quite the hell of a sentence there. The Nevada Supreme Court previously allowed Clark County to continue with its mail-in ballot voting counting process in a Tuesday ruling. Earlier in the day, the Trump campaign announced its plans to file a lawsuit alleging that there were at least 10,000 ballots cast in Nevada by voters who did not live in the state. Richard Grinnell, a former acting director of national intelligence, who's now a Trump campaign surrogate, told Lou Dobbs of Fox Business that a referral would be followed by a lawsuit filed in the next few hours. In a letter shared on Twitter by Trump campaign spokesman Tim Murtaugh, lawyers for the Trump campaign said they verified the claims of alleged voter fraud by cross-referencing the names and addresses of voters with National Change of Address database. So looks like they do have some evidence and they can continue with that. A separate letter to Marianne Miller, attorney representing Clark County, Nevada, which includes Las Vegas, outlined their findings and accused Clark County Registrar Joe Gloria of inaction on cleaning voter rolls that the lawyers said had led to material adverse consequences on election security. Anyway, if you want to, there's a lot more details in this article. I'll put that in the chat. By the way, let me just clear something up. I'm not happy about any of this shit. FTG to all of them. All, you know, so I'm just saying how I'm going to, how is my life going to change, in these 4 years? Much, about as much as it has every other time we get a new president.
You are the new Stream
What the
Lab
hell? What the
Superstar
hell did I
Donor
keep hitting
of
that
the
for?
day.
I see dead people.
That's the one I meant to hit. But anyway, yeah, there's a whole lot to that article. I'm not going to read the whole thing. All right, let me get myself organized. Take a quick the daily commercial break, and we'll be right back.
Hey everybody, it's me, Marty. Welcome to the Morning Night Live. I hope you're enjoying the show. The Morning Night Live is sponsored by you, the viewers of the Morning Night Live. Please, if you have a moment, take time to share this stream by hitting that little arrow down below or up here if you're on a mobile. And please hit the like button. I know you like it if you're still here and you're still watching. And finally, if you want to support the show, you can do that through your donations and super chats, which are in the description down below. You can do that at Streamlabs link or at PDawgKnight.live. That every little bit helps. And thank you for watching. Now back to the show.
All right, I'm back, and I need to hit the right button here. There we go. Hi, I'm back. So yesterday, the president had a presser that he had some, let's see, I don't know how long this is. Is this the whole presser? That's 55 minutes long. Let's see. Let me see if I can get some of his remarks here. They waited for him for quite a while. Let me see, get it up to speed as I failed to do. All right, here we go. Here's the president from yesterday.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Good evening. I'd like to provide the American people with an update on our efforts to protect the integrity of our very important 2020 election.
And what the hell? There we go.
If you count the legal votes, I easily win. If you count the illegal votes, they can try to steal the election from us. If you count the votes that came in late, we're looking at them very strongly, but a lot of votes came in late. I've already decisively won many critical states, including massive victories in Florida, Iowa, Indiana, Ohio. To name just a few, we won these and many other victories despite historic election interference from big media, big money, and big tech. As everybody saw, we won by historic numbers. And the pollsters got it knowingly wrong. They got it knowingly wrong. We had polls that were so ridiculous, and everybody knew it at the time. There was no blue wave that they predicted. They thought there was going to be a big blue wave. That was false. That was done for suppression reasons. But instead, there was a big red wave. And it's been properly acknowledged, actually, by the media. They were, I think, very impressed. But that was after
They were
the fact.
salty
That
as
doesn't do
fuck
us
that
any
they
good.
didn't get
We
more.
kept the Senate despite
The media
having
was
twice as
salty
many
as hell.
seats to defend as Democrats, and in a really much more competitive states. We did a fantastic job with the Senate. I think we're very proud of what's happened there. We had many more seats to defend. They spent almost $200 million on Senate races in South Carolina and Kentucky alone.
Crazy.
2 races, and
You're going after Lindsey Graham and Mitch
millions of
McConnell.
dollars
And
overall
Susan Collins.
against
That's
us.
the one that makes
At the
me laugh the
national level,
most.
our opponents' major donors were Wall Street bankers and special interests. Our major donors were police officers, farmers, everyday citizens. Yet for the first time ever, we lost 0 races in the House. I was talking to Kevin McCarthy today. He said he couldn't believe it.
Good point, Renee.
0
Read
races.
what Renee just wrote there.
This is a very unusual thing, 0. And actually won many new seats with, I think, many more on the way. This was also the year of the Republican woman. More Republican women were elected to Congress than ever before. That's a great achievement. I won the largest share of non-white voters of any Republican in 60 years, including historic numbers of Latino, African American, Asian American, and Native American voters.
And
The
LGBTQ
largest
people.
ever in our history. We grew our party by 4 million voters, the greatest turnout in Republican Party history.
And that's the other thing. So they get all these, that's where I go, there's something wrong. How did they do so well in everything except for the presidency? That's what so I'm not, again, just because these decision desk and AP called it, I'm not done. I'm not done. So those of you who are getting a little annoyed with me with the language that I'm using, don't think for a second that I'm accepting this. I'm just telling you, if the bullshit that they pulled off is not corrected, I'm still going to be able to live my life in the way that I want to live it. Not happy about it. Believe me. Hello, Annalyn. How you doing? All right, let me keep going here.
Democrats are the party of the big donors, the big media, the big tech, it seems. And Republicans have become the party of the American worker, and that's what's happened.
True.
And we're also, I believe, the party of inclusion. As everyone now recognizes, media polling was
Garbage.
election interference in the truest sense of that word.
And the
by
big tech
powerful
is
special
major
interests.
election affairs, especially Twitter and
These really
Facebook.
phony polls, I have to call them phony polls, fake polls, were designed to keep our voters at home, create the illusion of momentum for Mr. Biden, and diminish Republicans' ability to raise funds.
Hey, Larry.
They were what's called suppression polls. Everyone knows that now. And it's never been used to the extent that it's been used on this last election. To highlight just a few examples, the day before election, Quinnipiac, which was wrong on every occasion that I know of, had Joe Biden up by 5 points in Florida, and they were off by 8.4 points.
Good earning.
And I won Florida easily. So they had me losing Florida by a lot, and I ended up winning Florida by a lot. Other than that, they were very accurate. They had him up 4 points in Ohio, and they were up by 12.2 points. And I also won Ohio, great state of Ohio, very easily. The Washington Post had Biden up 17 points in Wisconsin, and it was basically even. They were up by about 17 points. And they knew that. They're not stupid people. They knew that. Suppression. There are now only a few states yet to be decided in the presidential race. The voting apparatus of those states are.
You know what's funny? So I'm listening to the president right now. And they made it, because I didn't watch this. I only know from reading what he said. So that's why I'm watching it now with you guys. And I'm sure some of you didn't see it either. W.R. Costin and ex-Bubba Hotep in the house. Hello. And Scotty Dubs, how you doing? Hey, they made it sound like he was in a rage and ranting and just and I'm looking at this. Listen to how calm he is. He's just stating off what he believes. They're so dirty. It's amazing.
Run in all cases by Democrats. We were winning in all the key locations by a lot, actually. And then our numbers started miraculously getting whittled away in secret. And they wouldn't allow legally permissible observers. We went to court in a couple of instances, and we were able to get the observers put in. And when the observers got there, they wanted them 60, 70 feet away, 80 feet, 100 feet away, or outside the building to observe people inside the building. And we won a case, a big case, and we have others happening. There are lots of litigation, even beyond our litigation. There's tremendous amount of litigation generally because of how unfair this process was. And I predicted that. I've been talking about mail-in voting for a long time.
Yep. Yes.
It's really destroyed our system. It's a corrupt system. And it makes people corrupt even if they aren't by nature. But they become corrupt. It's too easy. They want to find out how many votes they need, and then they seem to be able to find them.
Poof, there
they
they are.
And wait, and then they find them. And you see that on election night. We were ahead in vote in North Carolina by a lot, tremendous number of votes. And we're still ahead by a lot, but not as many, because they're finding ballots all of a sudden. Oh, we have some mail-in ballots. It's amazing how those mail-in ballots are so one-sided, too. I know that it's supposed to be to the advantage of the Democrats, but in all cases, they're so one-sided. We were up by nearly 700,000 votes in Pennsylvania. I won Pennsylvania by a lot, and that gets whittled down to, I think they said now we're up by 90,000 votes, and they'll keep coming and coming and coming. They find them
Until
all
they
over.
got what
And
they
they don't
wanted.
want us to have any observers. Although we won a court case, the judge said you have to have observers.
And then
Likewise in Georgia, and they're appealing. Actually, they're appealing.
And then they had their court order, and they went to the places where they're counting votes, and they wouldn't let them in anyway, and the sheriffs would not enforce the court order. Not good. Not good at all. Because, you know.
I see dead people.
We won a case that we want people to watch, and we want observers, and they're actually appealing, which is sort of interesting. I wonder why that appeal. That all we
Why
want to
don't
do
you
is
want to
have
have
people
observers
watch
there? Exactly.
as they do the vote tabulations. Likewise in Georgia, I won by a lot, with a lead of over getting close to 300,000 votes on election night in Georgia. And by the way, got whittled down. And now it's getting to be to a point where I'll go from winning by a lot to perhaps being even down a little bit. In Georgia, a pipe burst in a faraway location, totally unrelated to the location of what was happening. And they stopped counting for 4 hours. And a lot of things happened. The election apparatus in Georgia is run by Democrats. We also had...
Now, there's a mistake there. The Secretary of State in Georgia and the governor, whatnot, are Republicans. However, where they're doing the counting just happens to be in a county that's mega Democrat, as in the county that has Atlanta. So, yes, the counters in that county and the people in that, the polling apparatus in that county are Democrats. So, and then so, they're fact checking the president. Well, the Secretary of State and the governor in Georgia are Republicans. So, da. I'm kind of wondering where the Secretary of State and the Attorney General in Georgia are right now as far as that goes. But anyway, thank you, ex-Bubba Hotep, the second donation of the day. And also,
You are the new Streamlabs Superstar Donor of the
I
Day.
actually get to do that. That's only for my Streamlabs donors. I don't have one for the YouTube because I can't keep track of them the way I want to on there. But thank you, ex-Bubba Hotep, who says, the reason I have been for an election, wait a minute, what? Hang on, what's this say? The one reason I have been for an election day. It becomes too easy for activists to see what they need to win if it is dragged out. Oh, I see what you're saying. As in a single election day, as in no early voting. I'm sorry. The mail-in ballots is just one of those areas where I go, that's just too easy to fuck with. I'm sorry, it is. Thank you, X Baba Hotep. I appreciate it. All right, let's continue with the president here.
Margins of 300,000 in Michigan. We're way up in Michigan, won the state, and in Wisconsin we did likewise fantastically well, and that got whittled down. In every case they got whittled down. Today we're on track to win Arizona. We only need to carry, I guess, 55% of the remaining vote, 55% margins, and that's a margin that we've significantly exceeded. So we'll see what happens with that, but we're on track to do okay in Arizona. Our goal is to defend the integrity of the election. We'll not allow the corruption to steal such an important election.
I think they look at Michigan, Wisconsin, Pennsylvania,
we can't allow
Georgia, North Carolina,
to silence our voters,
Nevada, and Arizona.
And manufacture results.
I think even though he's looking on track to win Arizona, I think they need to look at it.
I've never had anything that's been as inspirational by people calling, talking, sending things to us. I've never seen such love and such affection and such.
Thank you, God Emperor Duncan, with the YouTube super chat. I appreciate that. What the hell did I just do there? Oh, not the heck. Hang on. All right. Who says mail-in ballots? More like bailout ballots. Yeah, it certainly seems that way, doesn't it? Thank you, God Emperor of Duncan. Appreciate the donation. By the way, donations, super chats, Streamlabs in the link down below or at PDawgKnight.live. Speaking of which, another Streamlabs donation from Maddie. Thank you, my friend, who says, I'm not saying this is suspicious as hell, but I smell rotten fish. Yeah, it's not. It does not look right, does it? Anyone in the chat think it looks right? If it looks right, put a 1. If it stinks like hell, put any other number that's available to your memory bank.
Spirit, as I've seen for this, people know what's happening and they see what's happening and it's before their eyes. And there are many instances which will be reported very shortly. There's tremendous litigation going on. And this is a case where they're trying to steal an election.
Again, also, no, I'm going to remind you again. Listen to his tone. Is he ranting and raving or anything like that? Is he okay?
They're trying to rig an election.
Morning, Sapphire Dragons.
And we can't let that happen. Detroit and Philadelphia,
Lucian
known as two of the most corrupt political places anywhere in our country, easily cannot be responsible for engineering the outcome of a presidential race, a very important presidential race in Pennsylvania. Democrats have gone to the state Supreme Court to try and ban our election observers, and very strongly. Now, we won the case, but they're going forward. They don't want anybody in there. They don't want anybody watching them as they.
Yeah, what are they hiding? They don't want people observing. They just don't. Sounds defeated and disappointed. You know what? Yeah, maybe sounds disappointed. Or just, yeah, it's you got to be sick of this shit. The MSM, every feminist, social justice, LGBTQ, NGO will say he was raving furiously. That's true. Yeah, that's right.
Count the ballots.
By the way, we're going to watch this whole thing because I want you to see the reaction as he walks out of these journalists, supposed journalists.
I can't imagine why. There's absolutely no legitimate reason why they would not want to have people watching this process, because if it's straight, they should be proud of it. Instead, they're trying obviously to commit fraud. There's no question about that. In Philadelphia, observers have been kept far away, very far away, so far that people are using binoculars to try and see. And there's been tremendous problems caused. They put paper on all of the windows so you can't see in. And the people that are banned are very unhappy and become somewhat violent. The 11th Circuit ruled that in Georgia, the votes have been in by Election Day, that they should be in by Election Day, and they weren't. Votes are coming in after Election Day. And they had a ruling already that you have to have the votes in by Election Day. To the best of my knowledge, votes should be in by Election Day. And they didn't do that. Democrat officials never believed they could win this election, honestly. I really believe that. That's why they did the mail-in ballots, where there's tremendous corruption and fraud going on. That's why they mailed out tens of millions of unsolicited ballots without.
Truckin' Bear says, how about 10 million as in the number of ballots Biden has over Obama's 2008? Yeah. Does anyone after this campaign season, when you looked at the rallies and look at the turnout to different things that even before they closed down rallies for events, is how can anyone think that Joe fucking Biden could get a turnout of 10 million more votes than Obama? I don't get it. Hello, Teresa the Kid. I just watched a video that's the point of a vote counter filling out ballots. Now, Teresa, I showed, I'll show that tweet again. That if it's the same one I was talking about earlier, that was not what it looks like. There is a actual valid process for correcting ballots that can't be done through a reader. They have one person reading the ballot and one person filling them out, and so that it will go through their read counter rather than counting them manually. But you know what, the other thing I don't get, and before I listen to the rest of the president here, is how is it that they have the results of all these Senate and House races, but they don't have the results of the presidency? Now, unless, of course, there was a big difference between, for example, if there's a case where a senator won by so much that it was overwhelming, but like John James, for example, that race was close and they called that before they called the president's race. But how did they not have the results of the president's race if they had the results of John James's race, which unfortunately he lost? Anyway, thank you, X-Bubba Hotep, with another $5 donation through Streamlabs, who says, well, you didn't see all the ghosts that were voting for Biden at his rally.
I see dead people.
Yes, you are correct. All those dead people.
I see dead people.
Thank you so much. There were plenty of ghosts. I thought Patrick Swayze was building behind Biden making clay pottage things or whatever. It was so ghosty, so to speak. Anyway.
Without any verification measures whatsoever. And I've told everybody that these things would happen because I've seen it happen. I watched a lot of different elections before they.
Thank you, Gamer Valine. I think I'm going to hear the music just now. With $5 through YouTube Super Chat, thank you, or $4.99, excuse me, and says, the insanity of people hating Trump makes it believable. Combine that with the MSM keeping that quiet. Yeah, I suppose I can see that. Yeah, the TDS is incredible out there, and it's in fact, as I'm watching people gloat on Twitter already, it's pretty amazing how nasty people are. But I don't know if I don't usually pay attention to that because I'm not usually not the target of the gloating, and maybe it was that way in 2016. I don't know. Good morning, Rushy Shaq. Good morning, Afe and Macy. I hope I'm saying that right. I've been saying that some way all along. Hello, Jen T. How you doing? Nice to see you back. I am well, thank you. Let's finish this up.
Decided to go with this big, massive election with tens of millions of ballots going out to everybody, in many cases totally unsolicited. This was unprecedented in American history. This was by design, despite years of claiming to care about the election security. They refused.
The last 4 years especially. Oh, how did the election interference by the Russians
to include any requirement to verify signatures, identities, or even determine whether they're eligible or ineligible to vote. People are walking in there. They have no idea. They just taking numbers. They're writing down things, the workers, and doing a lot of bad things. And we have a lot of information coming and litigation that you'll see that will shake even you people up. And you've seen it all.
And
the officials overseeing
because they're the media.
the counting in
they're
Pennsylvania and
all
other key states are all part of
in the Biden camp.
corrupt Democrat machine that you've written about. And for a long time, you've been writing about the corrupt Democrat machine. I went to school there and I know a lot about it. It hasn't changed. It's a long time ago. And
Since he was a Democrat.
It's gotten worse.
When he was
in
a
Pennsylvania,
Democrat.
partisan Democrats have allowed ballots in the state to be received 3 days after the election. And we think much more than that. And they are counting those without even postmarks or any identification.
Yep, that ruling
whatsoever.
of Pennsylvania is insane.
So you don't have postmarks, you don't have identification. There have been a number of disturbing irregularities across the nation. Our campaign has been denied access to observe
Matchy. Okay, thank you.
any counting in Detroit. Detroit is another place. And I wouldn't say it has the best reputation for election integrity. Workers in
Kwame
Michigan were
Kirkpatrick.
duplicating ballots. But when our observers attempted to challenge the activity, those poll workers jumped in front of the volunteers to block their view so that they couldn't see what they were doing. And it became a little bit dangerous. One major hub for counting ballots in Detroit covered up the windows again with large pieces of cardboard. And so they wanted to protect.
Now
and
watch,
block.
they'll fact check him saying, well, the president lied because it was not cardboard. It was big sheets of paper. That's how fact checks work.
The counting area. They didn't want anybody seeing the counting, even though these were observers who were legal observers that were supposed to be there. In Detroit, there were hours of unexplained delay in delivering many of the votes for counting. The final batch did not arrive until 4 a.m. And even though the polls closed at 8 o'clock, so they brought it in and the batches came in and nobody knew where they came from. We've also been denied access to observe in critical places in Georgia. In multiple swing states, counting was halted for hours and hours on election night, with results withheld from major Democrat-run locations only to appear later. And they suddenly appeared and they all had the name Biden on them, or just about all, I think almost all. They all had the name Biden on them, which is a little strange. I challenge Joe and every Democrat to clarify that they only want legal votes, because they talk about votes, and I think they should use the word legal votes. We want every legal vote counted, and I want every legal vote counted. We want openness and transparency, no secret count rooms, no mystery ballots, no illegal votes being cast after Election Day. You have Election Day, and the laws are very strong on that. You have an Election Day, and they don't want votes cast after Election Day, and they want the process to be an honest one. It's so important. We want an honest election, and we want an honest count, and we want honest people working back there, because it's a very important job. So that's the way this country is going to win. That's the way the United States will win. And we think we will win the election very easily. We think there's going to be a lot of litigation because we have so much evidence, so much proof, and it's going to end up perhaps at the highest court in the land. We'll see. But we think there'll be a lot of litigation because we
Now
can't
listen
have
to these fuckers
an
as he
election
walks
stolen
out.
like this. And I tell you, I have been talking about this for many months with all of you. And I've said very strongly that mail-in ballots are going to end up being a disaster. Small elections were a disaster. Small, very easy to handle elections were disastrous. This is a large-scale version, and it's getting worse and worse every day. We're hearing stories that are horror stories, absolute horror stories. And we can't let that happen to the United States of America. It's not a question of who wins, Republican, Democrat, Joe, myself. We can't let that happen to our country. We can't be disgraced by having something like this happen. So it will be hopefully cleared up, maybe soon, I hope soon, but it'll probably go through a process, a legal process. And as you know, I've claimed certain states, and he's claiming states, and we can both claim the states. But ultimately, I have a feeling judges are going to have to rule. But there's been a lot of shenanigans, and we can't stand for that in our country. Thank you very much.
Now listen to it. Why are you undercutting the process? I think he explained why he was saying what he said, but there's
undercutting this process.
Haley, are you here as press secretary or Trump?
that was Acosta. Are you here as press secretary or Trump advisor? There was one though, you can't hear it on this one so much. I was hoping that you could hear it. Literally, let's see if we can hear it.
But there's been a lot of shenanigans, and we can't stand for our country. Thank you very much.
Okay, you can't hear it, but there was one. I don't know. It was the guy from. It's probably Kasim. I'm guessing it sounded like Kasim from the former Playboy reporter. I think he works for CNN now. Who was yelling, "Why are you lying about this?" Okay, wait a minute. Hold on. I can do this again. Where is it here? Hang on. Sorry, guys. I just got to find something very quickly here. Effin' Matchy. There we go. Okay. Effin' Matchy. I'm going to try to remember that. Effin' Matchy. Like I really need to light my cigarette. Effin' Matchy. Anyway, yeah. Oh my gosh. Yeah, he's not unhappy. I'm pretty sure that the president probably wasn't getting a ton of sleep prior to this or these last few days. He's been going whole hog for weeks now, just campaigning like a madman. But anyway, so that's what the AP was talking about in their kind of little BS statement where they said Trump baselessly attacks vote integrity. Well, what do you mean baselessly? He very specifically talked about what he was talking about as far as what he was considering as some of these problems with the election. Now, so I don't know what the baselessly, if some of the things, even the simple things like not allowing the observers in, covering the windows, the AP, that's easy to find. So is that baseless to say that? Anyway, so yeah, there's a good extra doubt for the baselessly bullshit. Aaron Meredith, thank you so much for sharing out the show, just like a bunch of people have. I appreciate everyone who does that. All right, let's move on. Let's do some of the stuff from the Discord server. Thank you, GunFox61, for throwing out some articles out there. First, this is interesting. This is from The Week. Now, The Week is I think it's somewhat tangentially related to the New York Times, I think, but they're talking about how Fox News brings Trump to his knees. So this is a fascinating article. With some exceptions, many leading lights of the Republican Party have spent the last 4 years cowering before President Trump. Now, so you can tell right away who wrote this. Joel Mathis. I don't know who Joel Mathis is. Doesn't really say, but right now, you know, the article's not somebody who's a friend of the president. But anyway, with some exceptions, many leading lights of the Republican Party have spent the last 4 years cowering before President Trump, worried that getting on his bad side would put an end to their political careers. It turns out there's one man impervious to Trump's bullying and bluster. I should be doing a Soft Gentleman episode. I'm not, if you're familiar with the Soft Gentleman. Hi guys, this is the Soft Gentleman. I should, or maybe instead of doing like instead of being PDawgKnight, PDawg. What's a let's see, PDawg lady, lords and ladies. I don't know. Anyway, it turns out there's one man impervious. There's one man impervious to Trump's bullying and bluster. However, Rupert Murdoch, the owner of Fox News. The New York Times on Wednesday reported that Fox Tuesday night decision to call Arizona's race for Joe Biden sent Trump into a rage. Whoops, wrong one. Sent Trump into a rage. Jason Miller called Fox executives and asked them to retract the call, then went on Twitter to accuse the network of something akin to electoral fraud. He wrote, "There are still 1 million plus election day votes out there waiting to be counted. We pushed our people to vote on election day, but now Fox News is trying to invalidate their votes?" PDawg Dane, yeah. P White Knight. Oh, that's a good one too. Peasant Dog. I'm gonna stop reading this and just read this. Marty the Soft Knight. PDawg Gent. PDawg White Knight. Thumb up the ANAS. Yes, that's that would be ANAS stands for those of you who don't watch Hard Bastard. ANAS stands for, excuse me, the Soft Gentleman. ANAS stands for authoritative news, or approved news from authoritative sources, which was what Facebook at one point talked about, how they were going to change how they allow news to be promoted on Facebook, and it had to be approved news from authoritative sources. Acronym ANAS. So you got to make sure you put a thumb up the ANAS for the if you like it. Anyway, PDawg White Knight. Let's see, PDawg Gent, Marty the Soft Knight, Deep Pup Light, Peasant Dog as opposed to Lawyer Dog, D-Cat Boarding, P White Knight. Oh my gosh, y'all are so creative and so quick on this. Simp All Night, Peacock Soy. Okay, what is this bug on my desk here? Peacocker Spaniel Night. All right, that is funny. That is funny. Okay, let me finish. Anyway, the efforts to change Fox's call didn't end there. Jared Kushner, the president's son-in-law, called network owner Rupert Murdoch to ask for a retraction. No dice. Trump himself also tried to intervene with Murdoch. According to a source, Trump phoned Fox owner Rupert Murdoch to scream about the call and demanded a retraction. Vanity Fair's Gabriel Sherman reported. Oh, I'm sure that the sources at Vanity Fair are just have a direct link to Trump and to Fox News. Although maybe now the way the Fox News has been, maybe they are leaking their own. Maybe they leaked that themselves. I don't know. Murdoch refused and the call stood. The president's obsession with Fox Call of Arizona, obsession, which was still ongoing Thursday morning, was a bit odd. Whether or not the network's call was correct, it also makes zero difference as to how the actual votes will be counted and who will really win the election. Well, but see, you get that perception before the votes are counted, and then it turns into, oh, they stole the election. You know, if Trump wins the courts and they find out some of these ballots are fake, or some of the, they're counting just some stuff and not all of it, and it turns around, now you have that doesn't matter. No one's going to trust the election anyway this time. A bit odd. Whether or not the network's call was correct, it makes zero difference as to how the actual votes will be counted and who will really win the election. The argument is entirely about appearances. Well, yeah, it is. That's perception. PDawg wipe. Probably, or PDawg unwiped. Anyway, Soy Dog Light. Soy Dog Light. I think we have a winner. PDawg Knight and Soy Dog Light. I think that's the one. Or P. P-E-E, dog unwiped. Okay, I got you. I like Soy Dog Light. Anyway. Oh my God. Okay. The president's obsession with Fox. Okay, we already did that. But the incident is interesting for what it reveals about the nature of power in today's GOP. Now, wait a minute. You know what's funny about this? This is hilarious. This is hilarious. Do you remember when you read the emails that just happened to be found on WikiLeaks and the relationship between president? Oh my God. I almost said the worst nightmare of a phrase in the planet. I almost said President Hillary Clinton. No, Hillary Clinton's and the Clinton campaign's relationship with the media, how they could just call the media and try to get stories taken down. Do the people who wrote this story remember that? I didn't read the whole thing, so I guess I'm going to find out if they even think of mentioning it. The incident is interesting because for what it reveals about the nature of power in today's GOP, it may not be quite as Trump-centric as we thought. Oh, okay. Okay. The president's sway over party has been considerable. Once fierce critics of Trump, Senator Lindsey Graham, Marco Rubio, Senator Cruz, turned supine once he won the presidency. No, they stayed being Republicans. Those who didn't, like former Senators Bob Corker and Jeff Flake, found themselves on the outs of the party, as well they should. Why would you fight the president that's of your own party? Just because his personality is not exactly what we all want. So what? If he's doing the right things, he's doing the right things. And you can complain about his Twitter shit and all that other stuff later. But if he's doing the right things, if his results are good, I don't care if he's a jackass. Ding. Anyway, soon found themselves out. Even diehard loyalists who showed a little bit of independence, like former Attorney General Jeff Sessions, found their careers wrecked. Jeff Sessions was a shitty Attorney General. Sorry. Wasn't, whatever. Trump's power over the Republican Party appeared nearly complete, but he has never quite subdued Fox News. The network has mostly acted as an appendage to the GOP in general and the Trump campaign specifically, but Fox journalists, as opposed to the opinion show hosts, have occasionally frustrated Trump with their independence. Well, they're the Fox journalist side versus the opinion side might end up being different because the journalists are, then you got, of course, you got Chris Wallace, who I consider him an opinion side too, but he's just has the other side. It kind of tends to the other opinion, or does interviews, and that's what he does. Whatever. The president has regularly complained about stories he didn't like and network polls that showed him with less than stellar support. Trump has regularly lamented the absence of Roger Ailes, the late and disgraced former chairman. A one-time political operative who oversaw Fox for most of its history. That independence makes sense, though, if you understand that Murdoch, through Fox News, makes and breaks Republican politicians. They serve his interests, not the other way around. Interesting. Makes or breaks Republican politicians. I don't know. Good morning, Enziker. Holy shit. Murdoch, through his media properties, has pushed the political culture rightward on 3 continents. In the United States, Fox News hasn't just amplified the Republican Party's viewpoint, it has also cultivated GOP politicians. Up-and-coming candidates, the ones not currently serving in office, often end up on the network's payroll as analysts. Oh, that never happens in the journalism business. CNN and MSNBC's consultants are all, oh God, it's just, this is embarrassing. Meckwell Depot, how you doing? It's going to be a fire winter. Few conservative politicos end up in high office without owing their success in part to Rupert Murdoch. Yeah, I don't know about that. I don't know. Well, anyway, Trump is no exception. Even before he launched his candidacy, Trump was a regular on Fox News, holding forth about issues of the day and using his time to tout his discredited birther allegations. So, yeah, you can tell this is, but this is obviously approved news from authoritative sources. I gotta tell you. The Apprentice helped Trump command the attention of the public and made him into a bigger celebrity, but it was largely Fox that transformed him into a plausible political figure. Was it though? Really? Was it though? I mean, other than Hannity, who was, had his, basically gave Trump tongue baths. But I don't know about the rest of the Fox lineup. Obviously, Laura Ingraham was a supporter. Tucker Carlson was skeptical of Trump in the beginning. Whatever. Anyway, while Murdoch gives, though, what Murdoch gives, though, he can take away. And there have been signs that he is ready to be done with Trump, reportedly telling friends over the last few weeks the president would lose the election in a landslide. Well, that didn't happen. It wasn't a landslide. That hasn't turned out to be true, of course, but it probably hints as why Fox has been less than stalwart ally to the president in recent days. Trump needs Fox News more than Fox News needs Trump. Thank you for the super chat. Select a boy. Whoops. Select a boy. Yeah, boy. Who says we need some Lysol to clear the stink of this election? I'm not. I concur, my friend. Thank you very much for the donation. Appreciate it. So this dynamic could upend quickly, of course. Murdoch is 89 and can't rule over his empire forever, and Fox News is increasingly crowded by rivals like the One American News Network for audience attention. In the meantime, though, politicians come and politicians go, even Donald Trump, but Murdoch abides. Okay, that was interesting. Let's move on here. The romance in Portland seems to be still an issue. Portland election unrest reroutes emergency service as destructive crowds block street access. There was a medical call on the block they needed to get to. Emergency services in Portland had to be rerouted and were temporarily blocked by crowds overnight as hundreds of demonstrators left a trail of damage downtown following election day. Yeah, you notice how they're not... It's funny how the Nets aren't really talking about this, but they're talking about people who are protesting at some of these voting counting sites. And we'll get into the Twitter on that. Video by KOI and retweeted by the Oregon State Police early Thursday showed law enforcement officers holding the line, preventing a large crowd from entering an intersection in Portland. An announcement can be heard from a police vehicle telling demonstrators that they must disperse. There's a medical call on this block that we need to get to, and we need the crowd to disperse to the west. Police say notifying the crowd they might be subject to arrest and crowd control munitions of CS gas if they fail to leave the area. So here's the video of that. Maybe. Let's do this. It'll play in a second.
The west. There's a medical call in the building on this block that we need to get to. We need the crowd to disperse to the west. If the crowd does not disperse to the west, you may be subject to arrest or citation or use of force to include crowd control munitions or CS gas.
Okay, so I don't know.
There's a medical call in the building on this block that we need to get to.
All right, anyway.
But
they were. Oh shit! Stop that. There we go. They were out in force in Portland. The election-related violence is nothing new for Portland, which has garnered nearly nightly demonstrations after about 5 months in the wake of the death of St. George Floyd in Minneapolis. Once again, Wednesday evening involved crowds throwing projectiles, including fireworks, at officers, breaking dozens of windows to businesses, and damaging private property downtown. And that's also known in the business as Thursday in Portland. Anyway. Also, let's see, military ballots still need to be counted, still arriving in swing states where vote count is unfinished. Scroll. There we go. Just a second here. As my computer tells me to KMA. Come on. There we go. Military mail-in ballots are still arriving in battleground states such as Pennsylvania, North Carolina, and Nevada, even as President Trump and his campaign protest the counting of votes after Election Day. Trump is arguing. Now, this is a Fox News article. Listen to the language here. See? It's a Fox News article that sounds like the typical MSM article. Mail-in ballots are still arriving in battleground states such as Pennsylvania, North Carolina, and Nevada, even as President Trump and his campaign protest the counting of votes after Election Day. No, they weren't protesting the counting of votes. They were protesting the inability to monitor the counting of votes. That's what they were doing. Did I say hi, BG? I meant to, but I got caught up in some other stuff. So if I didn't, good morning. No, they're not protesting the counting of votes. They're protesting not being able to monitor it because they believe that there is some shenanigans. That's how I'll put it. Trump has argued that ballots received afterwards should not be counted. Now, did you listen to that presser that we just watched? Was he talking about that votes arriving after should not be counted? Or votes that are not legally arriving after? For example, in some states, if it has a clear postmark that it was mailed before Election Day, or I'm assuming military absentee ballots can possibly be an exception to that. They didn't say that you shouldn't count them if they've arrived after. But if all of a sudden 100,000 votes just show up out of thin air with no postmark or no evidence that it was mailed or prior to the election, and we're counting those like they are in Pennsylvania, that's what they're arguing about. Duh. Anyway, the point of this entire article is that there's a lot of votes that haven't been counted from military and provisional votes. So that's the point of that article. Moving on. Oh, and then the last one. Thank you, Gunfox, by the way, for these. The last one, MSNBC's Al Sharpton has an explanation for you. Explains how Trump did better. Listen to this. Listen to this sentence very carefully, what I'm about to say. MSNBC's Al Sharpton explains how Trump did better than he should have with minority voters. Better than he should have with and he accuses the Trump campaign of spreading false propaganda about Democrats. I don't know about that. Let's see if he has any examples. MSNBC's Al Sharpton said that President Trump appealed to minorities with entrepreneurial aspirations, and Democrats have a lot of work to do in order to win back Black and Hispanic voters who wanted to reelect the president. Well, I would say that's probably accurate. But let's see what else he says. He has done better than, in my judgment, he should have. Well, how should he have done, Al? With Black men and Hispanics, which means that we've got to really look into the civil rights community, both on the Latino and African American side. What? On a real conversation in our communities on what is to be different in terms of being entrepreneurial aspirants and being fair in terms of how we look from the whole, Sharpton said on Morning Joe. I think he appealed to some that wanted to feel that they had to be a certain kind of way to be aspirational, and you can be that and still be centrist, Sharpton continued. Well, oh my God. Oh, what's going on? I see a lot of China action in my chat. What's going on?
China is asshole.
Oh, you guys are having a little side conversation. Okay, that's cool. I'll just have to figure out what you're talking about. I just sent you a tweet that's broke my brain. Back to lurking. Okay, I'll check in just a moment. Is it on here? I don't see any notifications. That's weird. Okay, it must not have. Oh, there it is. Okay, we'll get there. Back to Al Sharpton, though. Last month, Biden conceded it was a mistake to support a now controversial crime bill that critics say laid the groundwork for mass incarceration, but the former longtime senator still defended parts of the 1994 legislation. Asked by ABC anchor, okay, that turn. Asked by ABC anchor George Stephanopoulos during a televised town hall in Philadelphia whether supporting the 1994 Violent Crime Control and Law Enforcement Act was a mistake, Biden said yes, it was. Sharpton also accused the Trump campaign of distorting Kamala Harris's record and painting the Democrats as socialists, calling it a false propaganda that many Americans bought into. I'm sorry, I think it was accurate. And her record, who brought up Kamala Harris's record regarding her time as Attorney General of California? Was that the Trump campaign, or was that? No, that was fellow Democrat Tulsi Gabbard. Shut the hell up, dude. I don't know. I really believe there's going to be a lot of work in those areas. If we ignore it or act like it doesn't matter, I think it's not wise. And I think if Joe Biden and Kamala Harris, if they're successful, are going to have to really work. Oh, then we read Charles Blow's comment anyway. Just typical. It's like, you know what? Hey, maybe some people have decided it's time to take a look at what the other side does. And, you know, maybe there's some success stories that can be had if you're not a monolith. Plus, Hispanics are already fairly entrepreneurial, at least the ones that come here from other countries. And maybe, just maybe, there's a significant portion of African Americans and Hispanic people who want to keep some of their own money. And, you know, no demographic is a monolith. So good for the Republicans for making some inroads. And you know what? There's more power if you have power in both, if you have a little hand in both cookie jars. That's what I have to say. Let's see what Truckin' Bear sent me here. Oh, yes. Oh, God. So this is one of those things I've been seeing a lot of. So there's a lot of people out there that think electing Joe Biden really doesn't matter because, well, here's one good example. What are you worried about? Look at Biden's policies. He's a Republican too. In fact, I saw, who was an H-bomber guy who tweeted out yesterday something to the effect, well, now we get to wait till the 2024 election Republican primaries, where all the Democrats and Republicans try to be more Republican than the others. Yeah, because we're not interested in the progressive bullshit. All right. I'm basically out of time. Well, let me just check headlines real quick to see if there's anything super pressing. Pennsylvania, get local updates about the election. I'll put this on the screen. This is the news tab on Twitter right now. Video clip shows a Pornhub banner during CNN live coverage is edited. Journalists report. Are they going to show it? Video clip that shows Pornhub banner during CNN Live's coverage is edited. A video that circulated on Friday, which appeared to show a Pornhub banner during CNN's live coverage, is not real, according to CNN news anchor John King, who is featured in the clip. Journalists from the Washington Post and Vice also reported that the clip is not real. Could it have been a meme? What here? Okay, here, let's see. Okay, did anyone see this? Okay, here it is. Oh, the tweet was deleted by the tweet author. Okay. I gotta tell you, here it is. Will they show the picture? Oh, nope. A Pornhub notification did not pop up during CNN's election coverage. So here you go. CNN had Pornhub open. A video clip from CNN's coverage of the U.S. election results had been doctored to claim that the channel had Pornhub, a pornographic website, open on another tab during the show. Boom found that the video has been edited to include Pornhub logo. The video has gone viral on Twitter and Facebook and racked up millions of views and has been shared 1,000 times. Here's the clip. I'm pretty sure it's probably just a joke. There's no volume on this, but there it is. Yeah, because they're not. Look, the system is not. Their system is a closed system. It's not an internet. It's an intranet, or it's probably just a computer network where all their screens have different things. That's not like they're pulling this off the internet. So of course that's not real. That's hilarious though that someone did that. Let's see. Oh, they did it again. The archive post can be accessed here. Somebody made a joke, I'm guessing. Anyway, good God, these people, they're so stupid. But of course they have to fact check it, even though it probably was just a joke. Anyway, Arizona, get local updates. Minnesota, blah, blah, blah. Oh, here's the other one too that's happening now. Special counsel has opened an investigation into Trump's use of the White House for campaign-related activities, Reuters reports. The U.S. Office of Special Counsel has opened an investigation into allegations that the Trump campaign violated federal law by using the White House on Election Day as a command center, according to Reuters. The investigation is in response to a complaint filed by U.S. Representative Bill Pascrell, who represents New Jersey on election night. The Trump campaign communications director, Tim Murtaugh, said in a statement that the war room needed to be in close proximity to the president, and there is no expense whatsoever to the American taxpayers. There is a provision in the law. They say that you cannot use government facilities for campaign activities, but there is two exceptions to that law. If you're not familiar with the law regarding this, one of the exceptions is the President of the United States, and the other exception is the Vice President of the United States. It'll be interesting to see how far this goes. I'm just sorry. You know what? And here's the other thing. Let's say it is a violation. This is not one of those violations that you go to jail for, which I'm sure there's just a bunch of people out there. I was hoping, oh, he broke the law, blah, 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 and he's going to go to jail and put him in handcuffs, lock him up, lock him up, lock him up. I believe that it'd be just some fine, I'm guessing. Whatever. Oh, my God. Hatch Act. The OSC opened the Hatch Act review into the Trump campaign's use of the White House as an election day command center, citing Representative Tom Bills-Cresco. So anyway, and I'm sure there's just a bunch of people out there going, lock him up, whatever. Ballots marked with Sharpies are valid in Arizona, Michigan, Pennsylvania, according to election officials and fact checkers. Well, I don't give a rat's ass what the fact checkers say, because the fact checkers are often just partisan hacks. But Sharpies are allowed to be used on ballots in Arizona and do not invalidate those ballots, according to the Arizona Secretary of State and fact checkers at the Associated Press and PolitiFact. Who cares about them? The Maricopa County Elections Department said their voting centers prefer the use of Sharpies so the ink does not smudge when ballots are counted. Election officials in Pennsylvania, Michigan, and San Diego have also clarified that Sharpies do not invalidate ballots in their state following similar concerns. Well, the reason the concern came up in Arizona was because there was some question on whether or not those ballots were going to be counted. And so that's why it came up, because there was some of the people counting said, because you can't, sometimes if they bleed through, you can't run them through machines to count them. So that's why it came up. There are posts suggesting that votes for President Trump were canceled because Trump voters were told to use Sharpies at their polling site, according to the Associated Press. The use of Sharpies does not invalidate a vote according to Arizona Secretary of State Katie Hobbs. Yes, but they do have to be counted manually if they bleed through. That's the issue. And so maybe voting machines can read Sharpies. They're chosen for a reason. Not always. God. In fact, if we use Sharpies in Minnesota, they don't offset our ballots so that it can, if it bleeds through, then it invalidates your ballot. So some voting machines cannot read them unless the ballot is designed to not read bleed through and is having offset columns on front and back. So whatever. Okay, thanks for the fact check, PolitiFact. Anything. Okay. Federal judge orders USB. That was yesterday. Judge Sullivan is still having people sweep facilities for undelivered ballots. Yippee. All right, before you go, folks, because I got to go, but before you go, before you even think about clicking away, hit the like button, the little thumbs up down there before you go, if you like what we do. And if you don't like it, hey, I am a big boy. I'm a big boy. I can handle it if you hit the down vote, but that's really only for Duck Dog. I'm just saying. So don't hit the down like, hit the like. And thank you so much for being here. I'm here Monday through Friday, 10 o'clock Eastern, 9 o'clock Central, not 15. I can't say that anymore. 10 o'clock Eastern, 9 o'clock Central. You can figure it out from there. Monday through Friday. And I may do an occasional weekend stream, and I do make videos once in a while. Also, if you'd be so kind to share the stream out when you leave, even if you don't after the fact, and if you're watching after the fact, as in watching the replay, please put a comment in the comment section so I know you're here. I don't care if it's just a little, hey, I was here, whatever. But I like to know when people watch after the fact. It's kind of hard to tell sometimes. And finally, if you'd like to donate to the show, you can do that through Streamlabs Super Chats during the show, or YouTube Super Chats during the show, or Streamlabs when the show's not running, or through the PayPal, well, PayPal through Streamlabs, Cashapp, and Venmo, which are all in the description down below. That is all for today, people. I absolutely have to go. My name is PDawg Knight, and I'm out of here. Bye-bye.
Hey, this is PDawg Knight, and thank you for watching today on the PDawg Knight channel. If you have an observation or remark you'd like to make about this video or my channel, I absolutely welcome you to write it in the comments section down below. I really look forward to hearing from you. And before you go, if you like what you saw but you're not already subscribed, please make sure you hit the subscribe button and definitely click that bell that pops up afterward so you'll be notified when I post new videos or when we go live. I broadcast my live show, The Morning Night Live, Monday through Friday at 10 a.m. Eastern, 9 o'clock Central. A special thank you to all the supporters of this channel who share our videos on social media and who make donations through Streamlabs, YouTube, Venmo, and Cashapp, which are all linked in the description down below. Thanks again, and until next time, I'm PDawg Knight, and I'm out of here. Videos are when we go live.
That's
I
right.
broadcast my live show, The Morning Night Live, Monday through Friday at 10 a.m. Eastern, 9 o'clock Central. A special thank